All right, we're back. This is Dominique Ramirez, and with me on the phone is.
Messina Chalice.
All right, so we're gonna go over Social Studio once again. Um, Here's the login page: socialstudio.radiant6.com. Logging in, and this is the Center for Women Veterans workspace. There's nothing connected here, so it's kind of boring to look at this. But you know, we'll get it. We'll go to a workspace that actually has something happening. So this is the Department of Veterans Affairs Digital Media Engagement Team workspace. Looks pretty busy because it is. This is our social media calendar. It's our content calendar. And basically all of these things here represent tweets and this is Facebook posts, Instagram posts. These little yellow things, yellowish, orangish things are notes. So you can put notes on the calendar. And we do that to, for the most part, the reason that we do it is to block out a section of time on a particular day so that people know not to schedule something during that time. So since what you see here is VOD, Veteran of the Day, and 12:30 is the time that we have scheduled for Veteran of the Day for every day, basically. We do Veteran of the Day at 12:30. So we just block that out so nobody accidentally schedules something in that time frame. This is the publish screen, and you can see publish right here on the top of the screen. So publish, and then there's also engage and analyze. We'll get to those a little bit later, but for now we're going to deal with publish. Now, there's a few ways that you can create a post. When I want to create a post and publish it right now, I generally go to this little green button and you click it, the create content button. And then from there you select, do I want it Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We don't have Pinterest. Instagram business, and then we don't use either of these two either. We actually don't even have our YouTube account connected. So anyway, so you choose one of these platforms and then you start your post. The other way to create a post is to click directly on the calendar. I generally, when I'm just scheduling content, I will click on the calendar itself because it takes away a step that I otherwise would need to do. So, for instance, if I want a post to be scheduled for Saturday at 10 a.m., I click on the calendar and click Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And if you scroll down here, you will see Saturday, 10 a.m. It's already selected. Now, it doesn't really take a whole lot of time for me to do that manually, but why do it if I don't have to, you know?
Right.
So that's how I do it. And so this is a Facebook post. Once we get your accounts connected, the next step to creating a Facebook post is actually selecting the Facebook account you want to post from. So in this case, since in this workspace we only have one Facebook account connected, there is only one Facebook account that I can choose. But if there was more Facebook accounts in here, I could choose it from the drop-down. So for now, boom, I just choose Veterans Affairs Facebook page. And then in the content section, I'll say, this is an awesome post. Yay. Cool. So you just write up your content. I will actually, hold on a second. NBCnews.com. Let's see if we can find a post to post about. Oh, jeez. It's all politics. Oh, come on. All right, search. Veterans Affairs. I want to show you something that is particular to Facebook posts, just so you can. Oh, come on, ads. Veterans Affairs Department tells Capitol Hill it won't repay underpaid. Okay, well, I'm not going to share this, but you'll get the idea. If we wanted to share it, we could. So this is when you want to share a link to a news story, if you want to share a link to a news story on on Facebook, you'll have some kind of an intro to the story, like check out this story about the GI Bill. So let's say that's what you were going to write, and then you want to link to the story. Well, you post that link, and it will start trying, like this little link thing right here. It will reach out and pull information about that story into the post. So usually that won't happen unless you've already written content and push enter, or if all you're going to do is just paste the link to the story, you need to paste the link and then push enter after the fact. Otherwise, this link preview won't begin. What it's doing is called scraping the page. It goes out and it grabs the meta description, the title, and the thumbnail image for use on social media.
Okay for us to use?
Yeah. So like I said, either you write something and then push enter and then paste the link, or you have to just paste. Because sometimes all I do is just paste the link. Like if I don't have an interesting introductory statement to say about this news article, I just want to share the article, I'll just paste the link. But if you do that, then you need to make sure to push enter afterward. Otherwise, the link preview won't begin scraping the page.
About this specific story?
Am I going to share this?
No, I'm saying, can I ask you a question about this?
Yeah.
Would be an example of something we would not share, though. Is that correct?
I would not share this, no.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. I know you said you're not going to share this. I just wanted to make sure that we're going to stay away from those kind of things.
No, it's just the first one that popped up. In my opinion, there are plenty of social media accounts and news stations out there to denigrate the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm not going to be party to that. I'm here to tell good stories. So that's what I seek out. If somebody wants to find bad stories, they can find them just about anywhere else. So
I agree.
This is not one that I would use, but I'm using it for an example. But what I was going to get to here is that once you have gotten the link preview generated, you can then go in, select that link, and get rid of it. You no longer need that link. It has automatically created a link for that post. So if I publish this right now, which I won't, but if I did, it would have this text and then all this information right here. And you can click on this and it will take you directly to the story on NBC News. You don't have to still have the link in the content in order for it to do it. As long as you get this link
cleaner this way.
As long as you get this link preview set up, you are good to go. You can remove that link if you want, or you can just leave it there. It's up to you. Doesn't really make a big difference. It's just like preference. But so once you get your content all squared away, if you're going to do a link, it generates a link preview. Get that squared away, and then if you want to remove the hyperlink, you can do that. Then you get down here to labels, and these are kind of like hashtags. Like the concept is kind of like a hashtag, but for the back end. Like nobody on Facebook is going to see that you applied a label. The reason that we use labels is so that we can like classify or categorize the kind of content that we're posting in this post. So one here, actually, let me get back to the calendar. I'm not going to save this, and I'll pull up a post and see if we have some labels applied to it. This one. Here's one scheduled for Friday. All right. Going to edit. Huh. No labels. That's annoying. So for me, when I want to add labels, I look at what's being discussed here, and one thing that I could very easily label this. What label would you choose, just off the top of your head?
The thing that sticks out to me is PTSD treatment.
Well, what do you know? Why wouldn't somebody just do that? I'm sorry, it frustrates me. But it's like, come on, man, just put PTSD on there. It's not that hard. The reason that we do this, and the reason that it kind of frustrates me when people don't, is because we can generate reports based on the kinds of content that we're sharing, so that we can see, like, hey, PTSD content is getting a lot of shares. Maybe we should schedule more content around the topic of PTSD, or you can kind of see what topics are actually working for your audience, and what they want to share, what they want to read more of. And so when people don't put labels on it, it's like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to track anything. Okay, that's great. We get no metrics. Great.
Can you do more than one label, or
yes,
is
lots.
Not beneficial?
You can do lots of labels. So PTSD might be one. Let's see. Treatment is, I believe, something. Treatment. I haven't read the blog post, so I don't really. Oh, Vet Center. Vet Center. Vet Center. There's another one. Boom. 3 right off the top.
Right. So, just out of the.
Yeah. I don't see why nobody decided to add those labels. But hey, anyway, so that's what labels are for. And I'll show you an example in a bit of how we can utilize these labels to create reports. But for now, we're just going to do that. Location, we've used location in the past, but recently we've had some issues with posts not publishing when you add the location. It's like a bug in Salesforce. So that holds true for Instagram, and since Instagram and Facebook are both owned by the same company, I'm just leaving locations off of everything right now. You can try and add them if you want, but I'm steering clear of that.
Okay.
Branded content partner, we don't use this. You can use it if you want. Somehow, I don't know. I haven't researched it much because we don't use it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Link shortening, we usually do use link shortening. I'm not sure why it was set to don't shorten, but hey, I did not create this post, so.
What does link shortening do?
Okay, so link shortening, have you ever heard of Bitly?
No.
All right, well, let's see. Let's go to bit.ly. And let's say we wanted to share this wonderful post that we found earlier. Can I do it? Yeah. All right. So this is a really long link to share, and maybe you don't want to share a super duper long link. You just want something short and sweet. So you paste it in there, and you click shorten, and now look, NBCnews.to, and it's a lot shorter, right? So it's basically it's the sort of thing that like we used to use back in the day to be able to fit a link into a tweet, because you got a super duper long link. It's taking up your characters, man. So you got to shorten that down. I'm pretty sure nowadays. Well, I don't know. I think they like Twitter included created their own link shortening service. So basically, all the links were shortened in a Twitter post. So basically, a link would take up 20 characters. And I'm not sure if they're still including links against the character count. I haven't really tweeted directly from Twitter for a while, so I don't recall, to be honest. But that's what a link shortener is. And another cool thing that you can do with link shorteners is you can actually get metrics straight off of the link itself from the link shortening service, so you can see how many times that link was clicked. And this would be outside of social media. But, we don't really need to get into that too much right now. Just know that we have Bitly as our link shortening service, and I'm not sure why it wasn't used. Targeting, you can actually target on Facebook. You can't do that everywhere, but they've added the ability to target based on interests. I don't use it. We don't really use it. But you can also do age and geographic location. Sometimes we have actually used this as a means by which to send a test post that nobody will see. So we'll make it like, target it to people aged 13 to 13 in a small city in California who speak Greek, And so then we can send a post out just to test something and see if it actually, worked. but with the comfort of knowing probably nobody's going to see that. So that is a useful thing. Other times, like when Brett Robbins at the Salem VA Medical Center wants to send me something to share, a lot of times it's only really applicable to people in Virginia. So I will target Virginia, United States, and then that post will only go to Virginia. So clear all, close out of here. I don't want to target this, and that's it. So then you can just click schedule, and it will be ready to schedule from Social Studio. So, or you can save it as a draft if it's not really ready to go yet. But I added these labels, so I'm going to go ahead and click schedule. You still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Kind of quiet. So let's see. That's how you create a Facebook post. Either click this green button, or you click on the calendar itself, choose Facebook, and then start creating a Facebook post. Very similar process for creating a Twitter post or Instagram post. You just click the green button, or you click directly on the calendar, and you start up some content. Here's some Twitter content here. So again, you choose the social account you want to share from, write your content, blah, 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 and then put a link, www.blogs.va.gov. And notice, when you see over here, we're using a bit.ly as our link shortening service, so it just shows it as bit.ly.
Okay.
And then if we click on it, you can test your links out by clicking on them. And yep, it works. So these, I actually will do that over here if I'm putting a link or a Twitter handle or something. They'll show up as actual hyperlinks over here in the preview card. And I click them just to verify that I didn't put the wrong, like a typo or something. I actually got, somebody sent me a tweet to send on behalf of the secretary. And the profile that it linked to on Twitter was, it wasn't who they thought they were sending me. And it would probably have been inappropriate. So thankfully I checked my links and I caught that before I sent it out. But yeah, so I would say check your links before you send, just to make sure you're not sending broken links, and to make sure you're linking to the correct Twitter handle or whatever. One thing I didn't show you on the Facebook post was uploading images. It's very simple, as you would probably imagine. You just click on the upload images button, and then or link, and then choose your image and click open, and it will pull that image in. Yay! We're not going to do that, but if we wanted to, we can do that. I'm pretty sure Twitter will let you upload 4 images, or Salesforce for Twitter will allow you to do 4 images. You may be able to do more than that directly on Twitter. Like I said, I don't really use Twitter directly anymore. We do all our content from Social Studio, so I forget how many images you're technically allowed to use. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You got your labels here. You got your schedule. It's already set up for schedule from Social Studio, date, time, because I clicked directly on the calendar. Link shortening, just like on Facebook. If I don't want it shortened, I would say don't shorten. But I do want it shortened because that's, I don't know, why wouldn't I? And again, here's your content section. Just write some stuff. Yay. That's how you do a tweet. I don't want this tweet to go out, so I'm just going to hop out.
Okay.
But you can, actually I probably should have showed you one other thing. Here we go. Let's just open this one up real quick. Edit. You can change this. Right now it's scheduled from Social Studio. You can drop it down and click Publish Now, and it will publish it immediately. So if you want to schedule something right now, choose Publish Now. If you want to schedule it for later, choose Schedule from Social Studio. Yep. Same thing for Instagram. You get the idea. Open up Instagram. You got to go Instagram Business. I don't know what Instagram Mobile Push is, but we haven't used it yet, and nobody's explained it to me, so I don't know. but choose your Instagram account, write your content, upload an image, add some labels. Don't do location because it breaks. And either schedule it or publish it right now. You choose and then push the button. Or you can save it as a draft. That's up to you. Now hop right back out to the calendar. Do you have any questions about scheduling content?
No.
Okay. Now, as you can see, our screen looks very cluttered. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. So, thankfully, Salesforce Social Studio has given us some methods by which to declutter and filter out some of the information that we don't need. So let's say we are looking, because like for me, sometimes I want to know, hey, have we scheduled this post on Twitter yet? Like somebody might schedule or might share a link with me to a news story. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that sounds like a really cool news story. I should share that. But has it been shared yet? I don't know. So one thing that I can do is choose one of the social accounts, and it will hide all the others. So that kind of helps me, and then I can kind of just, today's Veteran of the Day. Okay, I know it. 12:30 is usually Veteran of the Day. But let's see. Born in the Battle. Okay, no. Post-traumatic. Okay, that's not it. VA Recreation Fair. There it is. Center of Recovery. Okay, we already shared it, or we already scheduled it, so I don't want to share that today. So that can be a useful feature to like declutter things so that you can find stuff you're looking for. You can actually choose, because it's checkboxes, you can choose more than one if you're looking specifically on Facebook and Twitter. You can choose Instagram if you just want to see what's going on with the Instagram channel. Or you can just uncheck them all. And everything will now show up. You can also, I'm sorry, were you going to ask a question?
Well, I have all three of these.
Yep.
You don't know. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying that you do have all three of them. I don't know what accounts you have. I imagine we will know soon once I start setting them all up. But yeah, I don't know what you guys have, to be honest.
Okay.
Another way that you can filter is based on status. So if you just want to look at the stuff that's scheduled and you don't really care what's already been published, you can select that. Or if you just want to see what's published, you can do that. So if you just want to see the drafts, well, we don't really have any drafts anymore. When we have interns, there are tons of drafts. But we don't have interns right now because of summer break. So unlucky for us, unfortunately. Also, so I keep referencing these interns, but starting in August, we will have a ton of interns. If you need some help and you want to get some interns to help you schedule content and stuff, let me know. I might be able to help you.
Okay.
So, because it takes up a lot of time doing all this. So, a lot of it is, for us is like, just taking content that we want and actually scheduling it in here. And each one of these takes, some time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So it takes a lot of work to fill out this much content. So
yeah,
I don't know if you'll have the same problem that we will, as far as like, having a lot to do. I don't know if you're going to schedule this much, but if you do need some help, let me know, and I might be able to find an intern or two to assist. Another thing that you can do to filter things down is, remember I was talking about labels? Well,
yeah.
Here are some labels. And this is actually quite useful because the labels that you create, these are all labels that we're using, but none of these posts on the screen has one of those labels. So if you want to just see posts about PTSD, then you click here and notice, hey, I just added PTSD to this one, didn't I? So we got 2 posts on the topic of PTSD on this screen. I can uncheck that and choose another label, podcast. Hey, we got one right here, it's labeled podcast. You can really do that with any label. And so if you've got a post in there somewhere, you're just not sure where it's at, but it had to do with the Army, we'll choose Army, and it's like boom, right here, you just found it. So it saves time if you're trying to filter stuff down and just find one particular type of content. It can be a lot more useful, say if you're doing a month view. Jeez, this is taking a long time to load. We have too much content on here. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, let's say we just want to look at make the connection content. Well, here it is. We got it scheduled here, 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 here. So you can go to just the days that have make the connection content. So that's another reason that I say label. Put labels on stuff. They're useful. You can use them for stuff. So anyhow, I'm gonna go back to week view, and I almost entirely I almost always use week view. It's the most useful for me. I don't know about everybody else, but it's just my take. Let's see. Here's the drafts folder. If you create something and save it as a draft, these are just here from a long time ago. This is one of my interns, but then you can use it later on. Like you just say, here's a list of all your drafts, and you can just create a bunch of draft content, and then when you're ready to use it, just use it. I don't really use it like this very much, but hey, it's there. Here's shared content. I told you about shared content. Here is shared content. And notice we got people that are sharing stuff with us a lot. Specifically, Dave Bartlinski. He sends a lot of stuff, and I love it. So one of the things that I'm really in need of is content for Twitter. And so when I'm looking for stuff to share, I will open up my published calendar and I'll be like, okay, well, when do I need a tweet? I could use some tweets on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Okay, so this looks like a good tweet. Let me use this content. Now, I can use it for Twitter or I can use it for Facebook, but it looks like most of his stuff is written in a Twitter-like size. So I will grab it, use this content, and I'll share it on Twitter. And notice, you choose Twitter. It already has the graphic. It's already got the writing. It's already got the labels. And you choose to publish it now, or you can choose to schedule it for later. I want to schedule it for later because I need it on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. So let's go ahead and schedule it. Boom. This tweet is ready to go. I mean, there's really not a whole lot I need to change about it. Something I can do is
a veteran, he works for VA, and he's sharing it with you?
He works on the VA research social team. So he has a workspace here in Salesforce Social Studio, and he creates, because his goal is to get people to see stories about VA research. And so he creates a lot of content inside of Social Studio, and he adds it to shared content. And he tags our workspace. And he's like, hey, can you share my content? And I'm like, yes, yes I can. I can do that thing because I need content. So he tagged this Twitter handle, looks legit to me. He also tagged VA Iowa City. So let me check it out. Looks legit to me. I usually go through here and I'll check the Twitter handles to make sure they're not busted. That's better. VHA Twitter.
See all of the folks who make that shareable, or are they only sharing it with you?
They're sharing it. I'll show you that in a second.
Okay.
So here's this was basically ready to go. It was completely ready to go. I didn't have to change a single thing really. I wanted that calendar open. So, but yeah, usually when I'm dealing with shared content, I will have the content open, and then I'll check the calendar to make sure that I have a open slot for it. 8:30, good to go. So, this was attached. This opioids research VA Research News Brief. So yeah, I think this is totally ready. I scheduled it for Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and I'm gonna click schedule from Social Studio, and that's ready to go. And you know what else? I want content for Sunday, so I think I'm gonna just go in there into shared content, and I think I'm gonna grab some more. So I've already shared this one. Here's another one. Algorithm for identifying PTSD in electronic health records designed by researchers. That sounds cool. I want to share it. Notice you can see how many times this content has been used. This has never been used, so I know that I can grab it without fear of me
repeating.
Having a double post. So I'm just going to use it. I like it for Twitter.
But it wasn't shared.
Yeah, it wasn't shared yet. So all this stuff that, well, the majority of the stuff that he sent us has been like bite size for Twitter. You know, it's like sub 280 characters. So I like using his stuff for Twitter. Brett Robbins likes to share stuff for Facebook. So that's cool. I use that too. But I'll, you got to choose your platform. You don't want like a, 4-paragraph story for Twitter. You know, it's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to fit. So just know your platform that you want. So this thing is all ready to go. He does really good stuff. I can almost always use his content without any worry. But you can always go in here. Click VA Research. Make sure that's good to go. Okay, that's good. Click his link. See if that actually takes you to a functioning web page of some sort. Looks like it does. So, nope, I don't want to give you my address. There it is, straight to that story. So I think we're good to go on this one. And I wanted it for Sunday. So I'm going to go over here to Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And I didn't really have to do much of anything. I just hopped into shared content and it was there waiting for me. And I mean, I don't feel bad because these people want us to share their stories. They want to get some eyeballs on it. And so I'm like, and I need stuff to put eyeballs on. So it works out great for both of us. So now I have a tweet for 8:30 on Sunday. And you can use this stuff too. Now I'll show you a little more detail what's going on in shared content. Shared content is a place where you can create content to be shared by other teams. So notice it says it's never used. That means it's never been published. We've actually used it just now. We've scheduled it on our calendar. It hasn't gone out to anybody yet, though. Notice it's been shared with 7 workspaces. You can do details on that. Who do they share it with? Let's see. I used this content on the Veterans Affairs workspace. It doesn't say exactly who he has shared it with. So I don't know about that. I guess it doesn't tell you. But it was generated in the ORD social media workspace by Dave Bartlinski. So I mean, this is the details page for that particular post. If we were to go down here, here's another example. Sometimes when he puts these in here, he will put 2 of them, and one of them will be long enough for a Facebook post or something. So that's useful. Notice when it has been used, it will have section underneath it with some basic stats related to engagement. You see total engagements, average engagements. It's been used one time, I'm assuming, by the VA Research Twitter handle. But yeah, so this one looks like more of a Facebook post. And notice, yeah, he took out the Twitter handles. So this one doesn't have those Twitter handles. So if I wanted something to use on Facebook, I would grab it from right here. Yeah, it's a lot of Dave Bartlinski in here. But here's something from Brett Robbins from 6 days ago. He likes to share the news meetings that they have. This one is about the Mission Act, I believe. Wait, this one's dementia. But yeah, you can just grab this and use it. It's been used by 2. Oh, maybe we can see who used it. All right, so Department of Veterans Affairs and Salem VA Medical Center. So you get a feel for who's done what. I think we did a geo-target for this one, so that's why it's not showing up. Now, you keep scrolling and it loads more and more. And if you are particularly interested in content about a particular topic, so let's say all I want to have is content about Women's History Month, well, then you select that. Labels again. Labels, labels, labels. If you don't have labels, then we can't filter based on this content type. But so another.
So when Dave Barlinski shares this, he makes it so that you can grab his content. Is that for all the workspaces, or is he only giving you the option to use this content?
I am going to show you that right this moment.
Okay, because he says like shared with 7 workspaces. Or...
Yeah. So I think what he's doing is making it so that you can, so that he's sharing it to the workspaces that he thinks will benefit from the content. Personally, I just share it with everybody because I'm like, I don't know who wants it. Like anybody could want it. If it's about PTSD, like anybody could share that. It doesn't, just because you're Center for Women Veterans doesn't mean that you can't share something about PTSD. Just because it's a guy on there, maybe it's
right.
content.
Women veterans have PTSD.
Yeah. So you get it. You get the idea. It's just I choose everybody. He chooses. Maybe he's just a little more selective about who he sends it to. Either way, I don't mind. That's up to you. But so I'm gonna just do a test post. This is notice test post. Yay. Let's see. I'm not gonna add a label to it. Whatever. I'll call it a label. So it'll be there. It should be there. And then I want it to go out on the 4th of July. Clearly. Yeah. 4th of July at 10:30 a.m. So this is a test post. Let's go ahead and add an image. And so we got it. So I'm scheduling it. All right, and notice July 4th. It's on the calendar. It's scheduled, ready to go. If I click on it, here is a post details flyout or whatever you want to call it. It's just like a little thing that pops up every time you select a post. So if I clicked on this one will fly out. If I clicked on this one will fly out. Now, from here, this is like if I want to edit a post, if I see something in here in this little, because this is a little like summary card or whatever, it kind of shows you what's going to go out. Oh. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. All right. If I want to make changes to it, I can do it right here. But what I like to do is click edit. But you can do a quick edit to the text right here and just change that around. I like to go to the edit page. There's also a details page for each post, but I'll show it to you. It's not going to tell you much right now because we haven't shared it yet, but it tells you some additional information about the post. But that's not really what I'm looking for right now. I want to share it because I'm going to teach you how to share content. So you click on this post, and if you go down, here's another option. You can duplicate a post, and so it'll just make an exact copy. Everything that you had in this post will be duplicated. And that's, for me, that's useful sometimes when I want to send a post that's very similar to a previous one, like the Veteran of the Day. Sometimes we'll do that. But I want to share this content, so I'll click Share Content. And notice, it automatically adds my content of the message. Like it's all automatically done. It automatically added the image. And it's going to automatically include my labels. And then I have some options here: set enable date, set disable date. What you can do is set it so that it expires on a particular date. Today is the 26th. I want this to expire at 11:45. No, that's going to go 11:30. And comment, this is a test post. for training purposes only. All right, and then I get to choose who I want to share it with. I can do a bulk selection, or I can just choose from this list. Usually what I do is I just select all 24 workspaces, but let's say I just want to share it with the Center for Center for Women Veterans. I'm going to apply that and click Save. And now, if I was to hop right on over to the Center for Women Veterans workspace, you will find that if you hop into shared content, you probably have a test post waiting for you. Looks like
Dave's already sharing with me. I like him.
Yeah, so give kudos to Dave in Slack. He's in there. But yeah, it looks like he already shared some stuff with you. So if you see something cool that, like maybe a story about a woman veteran, you can hop in here and grab it and just click. I tell everybody just click the green button. You click the green button and say, this looks like this looks like a good tweet, or this looks like a good Facebook post. I just grab it and use it, and it's very simple that way. But so I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss this. Yes, dismiss the shared content. I'm going to hop back over to Department of Veterans Affairs Digital Media Engagement Team, and let me go and delete that post because I don't want it going out on Independence Day. So I just want to delete it, so I just click delete. Bye-bye. Test post. And that's how you do that. So that's how you do shared content. Here is the performance tab. And this is a section, you can get a quick summary right here of how your content is doing in general. 71,000 interactions on 41 posts over the past 7 days. So that's okay. It's down 45% from last week. Did anything happen last week?
I don't think so. Anything major happened.
Was it? They were coming off a Mission Act high or something. Anyway, we don't have LinkedIn connected. Google Plus went away. But Instagram is down a bit. So, Pinterest. So that gives you.
What was that under?
What's that?
Performance. Oh, it's under performance. I was just.
Yeah, it's okay. It's this heartbeat looking thing.
Okay.
So you just click on this, and it will. It starts you out on a summary. To just give you an overview. But then you get down here, and you can get a lot more detailed information. So what I do is I'll click on all posts, or you can click on a particular platform, and you choose. So what I do here is I add some filters. So this button right over here is the Show Filters button, and I will go in here, and this is why I say use labels, because guess what I like to do? Labels. PTSD. Anything that has PTSD in it, and I'll choose the date from the beginning of June. PTSD or PTSD Awareness Month. Either of these, I want to know about it. So I'm going to apply my filters. And look at that. I've got a report. It has every piece of content that includes the label PTSD or PTSD Awareness Month. This is particularly useful if you're running a campaign of some sort. So if you have a, I'm Not Invisible campaign. I'm trying to think of a campaign. Are you guys involved in that?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're running a campaign for that, and you want to be able to run a report saying, hey, this is how we've done on this kind of social content, so that you can send that up the chain or whatever, then you can easily just type Not Invisible. Like if you've added that label to your posts, add the labels. And if you've added that label, then you can run a report based solely on that label, and it will give you all this information. So now I've run the report, and I want to export this into a Excel file. You export as a comma-separated values file, CSV, and it opens up right in Excel, and it'll give you all this data about your campaign. And so, you can if you're only doing Twitter or only doing Facebook, it'll make a little more sense. Notice these don't have clicks, but this does. So this one is, it'll show you somewhere. Oh yeah, this one's Twitter down here. So this one's Facebook. Facebook gives you information about clicks, comments. Looks like Instagram also gives you comments, but it doesn't give you favorites. But it does give you likes. So you can sort this by network if you want, so that you can get a better feel for like how what platforms those metrics apply to. But this isn't. We're not doing an Excel tutorial right now, so I'll just get back here to Social Studio. But yeah, that's what you can do with this. So if you add labels, it will really help you when you try to do other things like send reports to your bosses. So do you have any questions about this metrics area?
No, I'm clear.
All right. So as I was saying, if you click on performance, you get your summary. I chose for these purposes, I chose all posts, but you can go to Facebook posts, tweets, Instagram posts, choose whichever platform, and then it'll only show you information about that platform. Same page basically. It's the same thing here. It's just all you see is Facebook, and then you click show filters, add your filters. You can do filter by date, or you can filter by link, photo, status, video, publish, unpublish. I don't know why you do that, but then you can kind of choose what to include if you want. But the thing I find myself using a lot is labels to narrow things down. So, and then you just apply your filters, and it will show you all the content that has to do with those filters. I already showed you shared content, or shared, content, drafts. Here's the calendar again. Close this. That. There's the calendar. Here, let's go to Engage. This is a tab that I set up because I want to see what other people are sharing. It takes a little while to load because it's a lot. I've added probably a couple hundred accounts in here. But notice Veterans Health, GI Bill, some dude. I don't know who John Slattery is. But yeah, somebody replied. That's cool. GI Bill, National Center for PTSD. And the cool thing is, if I want to use this, I can interact with it. I can click, like. I can retweet it, or quote retweet it, or I can reply to it from right here. Same thing for all these, basically. Notice these are VA social program offices. This is VA medical centers and healthcare systems. So this is all going to be content from those guys. Washington D.C. VAMC. They retweeted somebody. Way to go to the all VA Eastern Colorado healthcare system employees who biked to work today. That's cool. Maybe I want to use it. Retweet. So yeah, the reason that I have set this up is so that if I'm hurting for content, I'll just I'll basically steal from others. I'll just go through here and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And if I want, I can. You see this little 1 hour thing, the timestamp? If you click on it, it will open up that piece of content. And so then I can just go over here and copy it and paste it. This is odd. Details are provided where? So that post didn't go over, apparently. Wait, is there like a response to it? I don't understand what they're doing here. But
I don't know. I don't see.
Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work so well. But yeah, any one of these, you click on the timestamp and it will open up a new card with that information in it. Thank you to Eddie Kadim and ABC News 2 for a story about veterans struggling with low vision and blindness. That aired at 11 p.m. So, okay. I don't know.
So it's like they're shouting out Eddie, whoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like they screwed up this @ sign too, because they put an ampersand right in front of it, and so it's not its own thing. So they didn't tag them
Yeah, I see it.
Whoopsies. Thank you. So, I'll kind of scroll through here and see if there's anything useful that I can grab and use. I also set up a Vantage Point feed. So if I see something, and if you see something in here about Vantage Point, you can hop in and grab it and share it on your social media. Although I will say, the VA Social Slack, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I created a feed. I created a channel called Feed, and it's just a constant churn of posts that are on Vantage Point, and it just
share those also.
Yeah, feel free. You can grab them and use them. But I set this up so that you wouldn't have to go and look at the blog, because blogs.va.gov. It's not always easy to see what's new, because it's only really showing the last 1, 2, 3, 4 on the front page, on the home page when you first go there. So you can't really tell what's all the new stuff very easily. And what if you missed something that's a couple posts back here? Well, you're not going to see it on first glance. So you can just hop in the feed here and just kind of scroll through and be like, oh, wait, that sounds cool. Let me use that. Maybe CV. I like CVs. Let's talk about that. So you can just here's a link to the post, this is a link to the post, and you just go to the post and grab it and use it if you want. But that's there. So if you want to hop in the feed, you're not in here yet. Do you want me to add you to this or no?
Yes, please.
And more people. There you go. Add. And you can just scroll through here all day long and see what's new. It's just basically a solid, a stream of updates from Vantage Point that you can grab. Geez, there's a lot. We publish a lot. So I'm gonna hop out of here because it's getting busy. So this is the engage column. Now I'll show you the. This is the swamp of the engage column. It's the moderation channel. I've actually set this up so that I can moderate comments. Sorry, I apologize in advance for some of these foul words, but that's just it's just how it is.
I answer irises, so you don't have to tell me. That's what I open up to every morning.
So we're using a tool called Social Media Studio Automate, and wow, this groovy art person, I think maybe we should report that. He wants to kill everybody in Congress.
Kill all Congress and start over. I'm thinking he's got some issues.
Yeah, I may report that. Well, geez. so it's tough.
So when I get a comment, if I were to get a comment where somebody were to post something inappropriate, I can hide the comment. I see that's what you're doing. It says hidden.
Yeah, I just hide it.
Automatically doing that based on work that people are posting.
We're using something called Social Studio Automate, and if something is mostly it's just the F word. If there's somebody's dropping F-bombs, we hide that. Also, if we have someone who is a well-known spammer of our content, we will generally hide that as well. But as you're setting up your engage column, you can choose, so we click add column, and you can choose a social account. And let's say you just want to see comments on Facebook. You apply, click Facebook, click apply. It's so much BS, whatever. So then you can get into the settings here. You go to filter, and let's say all we want is to see, choose under media types, you choose, I don't want to see posts, but I do want to see comments. I don't care about received inbox messages or sent inbox messages because I don't send or receive them. I don't want to know about unpublished posts, reviews, mentions, or comment mentions. All I really care about, to be honest, is comments and replies.
Now, am I supposed to respond to comments, replies, inbox, and all of that?
That is up to you. Currently, we do not. Our team doesn't, but it's mostly because one, we don't have time to do all
Right.
that. There's just so many people commenting here. But like if we wanted to, like I can go in and like this. I can give it a thumbs up. Um, we paid a high price. RIP Heroes. I could reply. You said it, brother, or whatever. But
Right.
if I wanted to, I could do that. I don't want to, so I'm not going to do that. But if. And then this is just going to be a constantly updated feed of comments. Notice there's 18,611 of them. I can add my Twitter account so that I can get a feed of Twitter comments. Some people would question the logic of that decision.
Do I have to set up the feature where it catches the F word, or is that automatic as long as I log in through Social Studio?
You would have to set that up if you wanted it. I would have to show you how to use that.
Okay.
So this is Twitter, but one of the things that you want to do here is go in here and filter it, because a lot of times you're gonna get people who just mentioned you and stuff, and I don't know. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't. I only really care about people replying to my stuff. So I go into media types and I choose, do I want to see my tweets? No. Do I want to see mentions? No. Inbound direct messages, outbound direct messages. I don't know. I think mentions maybe, but I don't want to see my tweets, and I don't know. I don't want to see that or that because I don't really respond to direct messages. So here are all the mentions of Veterans Affairs. And that's that. So that's really basically all that you really need in the Engage tab. Do you have questions about the Engage tab?
No.
Scalps for nuts. Don't know what's going on there. Here's the Analyze tab. And what you can do in Analyze is set up these reports, basically. Carry the load is something that we did not too long ago, although it's fallen off lately. So, but we were running this for a campaign that NCA was doing, and this is like a feed of Carry the Load content. These are influencers who are involved in the Carry the Load campaign, not involved in the campaign specifically, but who are sharing Carry the Load content. There's a trend line for sentiment over time for the content that's being shared regarding Carry the Load or using the Carry the Load hashtag. There's no information available anymore because we're not doing it. We're not sharing that content, but you can get the idea. This is from 14 days ago. If I was to go back and choose like 60 days ago, it would probably populate with more information. Yeah. See, it all fell off on Memorial Day. This is a Memorial Day campaign that we're doing. But yeah, you can see sentiment. We're doing a lot more content. AT&T apparently is one of the big influencers who were sharing content related to Carry the Load. And one of the cool things that you can do with that is if you think that you want to see what they're sharing, you can click on AT&T, populate what they share. Carry the load, carry the load, carry the load. So like if you see that they're doing stuff around the campaign that you're putting on, maybe you want to share their stuff. Maybe they're creating cool stuff and you want to share it. So if it, Women's History Month or something, if you see who's some of the big hitters in Women's History Month, and you see that they got some good stuff, you can share that from your account. You can just retweet it or whatever. And maybe that'll make them want to return the favor. Who knows? So, that's what this is all about. You go into the Analyze tab and you can start setting up reports. And this actually will go out on Twitter, on Facebook, on blogs, on everywhere pretty much, and pull in data for you. And so you can kind of analyze it. I have some other videos on the topic of creating dashboards, workbenches, and reports. We could show you that I can share that video with you.
Add a lot of videos and stuff that would be helpful.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions in here while I'm here?
No.
No. Okay. So I think as far as next steps is we need to get you get your social accounts set up in the Center for Women Veterans workspace, and then let me hop in there. We also need to make sure the people who have access are set up correctly. We don't need that. New owner. Select the new owner. Let's see. You see them? Here. It is now yours. Current owner is removed from the workspace. Confirm. All right. No more Tim Lawson. So you're now the owner, and you will be able to do as you please in here.
Okay.
Once we get your social media accounts set up and connected in here, then Phil, I'll let you know. I don't personally have the access to them yet, but I think Gary does, so I might have to work with him to get it all.
Yeah, he told me he's working on it.
Okay. So yeah, do you guys have any? Here, hold on. Let me go ahead and stop this cancel. Stand by.